Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a little bit of a special one because I did it. If you've probably read the title by now, then you'll know what I'm talking about. I got myself a very early birthday present. If you didn't know, my birthday's in July, and considering we're now April, today's officially I think April 4th. So we're about like 3.5 months away from my birthday, I think. May, the whole of April, May, June, and then beginning of July. Yeah, so 3 months away from my actual birthday. And I actually bought this back in like, I think beginning of March. So a full 4 months before my birthday. A little excessive, but bear with me. I'll explain why I needed to get it then and why it made sense to instead of holding off until my birthday. So without further ado, let's just jump right into the video. Like I said, I did get myself a really early birthday present, and the reason I got it so early, like a whole quarter of a year ahead of my birthday, was because I got a vintage piece. So this is what I got. Super excited. I'm gonna go through the process of what I purchased first, and then I'll show you the bag afterwards. Stick around to find the bag, unless you guys want me to leave a timestamp. Maybe I'll leave a timestamp, I don't know. Check below in the description box if you guys wanna see a timestamp of where I show off the bag. But I'm gonna run you through the whole decision-making process, where I purchased it from, and whether or not I would recommend it. This is not going to be a full review of the bag itself, but just kind of giving you guys like an introduction to the bag so you can see it, meet her, get acclimatized and familiar with her, and then once I personally had the chance to use her for like a little bit longer, then I'll do like a full-fledged review of the bag itself. But first off, let's chat about where I got it from. So I got my birthday present to myself from The RealReal. You will probably have seen in a couple videos ago, I posted a what I will not be buying in 2021. I very vehemently said that I will not be buying more designer bags. However, I did make the caveat that if it was a bag that's within the realm of my kind of like dream bag, I would make the exception for it. I just wouldn't buy bags recklessly for the purpose of just buying bags because I wanted them. I'll let you know right off the bat, it's a tweed bag. So that hopefully this doesn't ruin it for you once you go check out the actual bag, but knowing the way people work on YouTube, somebody's probably gonna skip to it anyways and figure out what the bag looks like. But I'll just let you know off the bat, I got myself a Chanel tweed bag. So I've actually wanted a tweed bag for the longest time ever. When I think about all of my Chanels, I don't really have, I guess what you consider like the conventional collection. I started off with like a small patent in one of their seasonal collections. I don't wear that much because it stains so easily, really annoying. And then my second piece that I got was my little card case, which I guess I use all the time, so that's a pretty conventional Chanel one to have in your collection. And then the second bag that I got was the Gabrielle Backpack, which I love, but it's only really a great bag to wear in the summer since you can't really fit that backpack over top of your winter outfits when you're wearing really bulky jackets. And then the third one that I got was my Diana, which is like, it's a classic bag, but it's not a conventional one for everyone since it's really hard to source vintage one. So most people usually end up gravitating towards their classic flaps. And that's what I mean when I said that I don't really have your conventional Chanel collection. So my little small definitely is a classic flap style, but it came in the chevron, which was a collection edition, like a seasonal collection, and in a seasonal color. It's not one that they constantly carry in the boutiques, and once that collection is gone, it's gone. You gotta go to the secondary market to be able to find it. And what I mean when I say a conventional collection, I mean more along the lines of collecting all of the basic flaps, like the medium, the jumbos, a boy is a pretty classic one. The regular Gabrielle bags are pretty classic, I guess. The backpack isn't as popular as like the crossbody hobo one. So when I say conventional, I have ones that are not part of a collection that you would expect someone to get for their first few Chanel bags. And that kind of threw me off because I'm definitely more like a classic girl now. Looking back at my bag collection, I have a lot of really amazing classics that I love. And I thought that for a brand that was so expensive, I would gravitate a little bit more towards the classic styles per se. But in all reality, the weird thing is that I see so many people with the medium classic bag all the time that it just doesn't feel special to me anymore. And the funny thing is I'm actually more drawn towards the vintage and antique looking ones, like the ones that look like they've aged a little bit and have a story to tell. Like I absolutely love the vintage classic flaps with like the less puffy quilting, and it also has 18 karat gold plating on all the hardware back then. I don't remember what year exactly they discontinued it, but all the new Chanel bags do not have that anymore. The older ones do, which is also a reason why I was drawn to the Diana bag because it had the 18 karat gold plating before it got discontinued. So love that, and I think that really justifies the price a little bit more. And then in that sense, I ended up getting myself, I guess not really like an antique or like a vintage, but I guess you would consider it vintage since it's a little bit older. The bag that I got actually was made in 2011. From the research that I did, I found out that it was made closer towards like the fall winter collection, if that makes sense. And once you see the bag, you'll realize exactly why it fits into that collection and not the spring summer one. But yeah, so this is a new edition. It is not a classic medium in the black lambskin or the caviar or like a beige or white. It's a very different from your conventional one, and it is a tweed. So why did I get myself a tweed bag instead of a leather one? Okay, so I have a lot of leather bags, and I've recently been looking at my collection, and I've noticed that in the past recent years when I told myself I wanted to purchase a few more black bags, because when I first started out, for some reason this girl was not going with the classic mindset, and I acquired a bunch of like random colors that were cute at the time, but as my fashion style and sense changes every year, a lot of the bags couldn't be worn with my outfits as my personal style changed and evolved because the colors just didn't match anymore. So I made a conscious decision to invest in some more black bags, and then I got to a point where all of my bags became black, and I was like, okay, Vic, you need to break out of that rut a little bit and get some more other like maybe neutral colored bags. And I've always wanted a tweed because I don't see that many people with a tweed Chanel bag walking around with, and it just feels so much more special and different, which is why I finally gravitate and allow myself to get a Chanel tweed bag. So I have a lot of leather ones already, and I figured that this would be a nice kind of like breaking out of the shell moment for me, try something a little bit different, which is why I gravitated towards tweed. And if you guys know, Chanel makes very, very beautiful tweed print patterns. And the thing though is that, I don't know, at least for myself, every time I see tweed, it's all these like random vibrant colors that I'm not really drawn to. So when you find the right tweed, you have to jump on it because you don't know how many are being released, how many are being made and manufactured, and how many will be available on the market if you don't snatch it up like that. I've been watching the collections for the past recent years for like the perfect tweed, and I haven't found a single one that has come out yet that really captures my heart the way I would want it to, just because it's such a different pattern. There's so many different ways you can integrate it. Some of them have like the beautiful Chanel ribbon going through it. Some of them have like chains going through it. If you do want a unique Chanel piece, I definitely recommend looking into their tweed ones because it's so different and you don't often see people with it. It's just, it feels so much more special to me. So that's why I've been wanting a tweed piece and to kind of have like a different style. I think I will eventually get one of their leather classic medium bags down the road. I don't know, I feel like I see it all the time and it's always so readily available that to myself it's kind of like it's not really that hard to get, so it doesn't feel as like dire to me as like a limited edition vintage piece, I guess, if that makes sense. I don't know. Roll with me here. If you understand what I'm saying, I appreciate it. If you don't, I hope I tried my best. So I actually stumbled on this bag like completely accidentally on The RealReal. If you are looking to repurchase bags on consignment, highly recommend that site. They are absolutely amazing. They vet all the quality of their products really well. The only thing I wish that they did include were more photos because I find that sometimes I don't get to see enough of the bag and like the flaws that they mentioned in the description, and would really like to see that. Besides The RealReal, I really also like shopping on Vestiaire and also Rebag and Fashion File. Those are kind of like my 4 top favorite consignment online shops to shop through. They all have really good reputations. They all vet all their products and make sure that they're authentic, and they have really, really well curated collections as well. So you're not walking into like a random online consignment store that has like something that's really weird that someone dug out of the back of their grandma's closet that's completely damaged and not even worthwhile for your money. A lot of their products are really well maintained, and then they will also grade them from the quality of it and how well it's been maintained since the person bought it. You can actually even buy some items that are still brand new and pristine that somebody bought and just never used and decided they want to sell it. So definitely check those sites out if you are ever looking for an older piece that you can't find in the boutiques anymore, or if your boutique doesn't get enough stock from a specific item and you want to be able to find it online. Highly recommend it. This was actually my very first time shopping from The RealReal, and I just loved my experience. The overall process was like super smooth. Bringing the bag into Canada, because it was shipped out from New York, only included like about a 13% tax. I guess because it's already North America, there's no additional import fees that we have to pay on top of it. Whereas sometimes when I order things from like ASOS from the UK and it comes here, I get dinged like 30 to 40%. I can't guarantee this is going to be everybody's experience, but just letting you guys know, I only had to pay 13% when it landed in Canada. It took about like a week and a half for it to arrive here. Everything was packaged really, really well, and we'll chat about that next. But I just really liked my experience. I think shipping was about like $38 or so. There is no like buy a minimum X amount and get shipping for free. They definitely do charge for shipping, but in the grand scheme of things, like the shipping cost is so minute compared to like how much I spent on the bag that I don't know, I felt like it was worth it. Obviously, if I was able to go to New York to see the bag myself and to buy in person to save on the shipping costs, I would. But yes, we have been stuck in Canada for the past year, so I was not able to do that, and I'm just happy I was able to acquire this bag for myself. So without further ado, I'm gonna show you the bag. All right, are you guys ready yet? Are you ready? Are you ready? Ta-da! This is my new baby. Isn't she beautiful? So this is a medium classic tweed bag. So yes, it is in the classic style, but it's not in the typical lambskin or caviar leather that you would regularly see people with. I got this in this beautiful kind of like black, and I don't exactly know what this other color is. I tried to assess it from this, but it looks like a metallic gold and dark brown threading all throughout. It is absolutely stunning, and it also has a champagne gold hardware for all of the like the metal parts around it. So this is in a classic double flap. When you open it, there is the second flap here, so the classic style, and I absolutely loved it. I looked at the authentication card. It gave me a serial code that when I checked it out, it told me that it was manufactured in 2011. I compared it between, like it said late 2011 and early 2012, but I compared the two collections, and the 2011 one focused on like really dark tweed gothic-y goth prints, and then the 2012 one was like spring. So this is not really a spring bag, this is definitely a fall bag, so I'm assuming it's from that collection. I couldn't exactly find this bag or images of it online from then. It was really hard. That's like 10 years ago. So I'm going with my gut that it's part of the fall winter collection because this style and the look and the tweed, I guess, pattern itself fits in exactly with that collection. So that's my best assumption. So this little baby is like 10 years old, a little bit more than 10 years old, I think, or just on the cusp. Just on the cusp of 10 years old, and she is almost pristine when I received her. So why did I get this tweed bag? Okay, so like I said, I have been eyeing a tweed bag for the longest time. It wasn't high up on my list, but it definitely is part of my dream bag wish list, if that made sense. Obviously, if there was one available in store, brand new, from the newer collections that I fell in love with, I would be more than happy to buy it. But from my recent research for the past couple of years, I haven't really found one that I've truly loved yet. And when it comes to tweed, they just have like the most random prints, so you really just gotta find one that you love. I actually stumbled on this one accidentally on the RealReal when I was just checking out the site. I wasn't intending to buy a tweed bag this year. My intention actually was to get myself a leather one and then to maybe purchase a tweed bag down the road whenever I found the right one. This just happened to be a match made in heaven. It was in like a nice beautiful neutral color that I wanted, relatively close enough to like shades that I would particularly like to wear as an everyday, like a warm neutral. It wasn't completely black, but still dark, and it's not like too brown either, and it has the gold hardware, which is what I really wanted in a bag like this. So I was really happy that I actually found this bag, and I was actually so caught off guard. I sent Mel a text. I was like, do I get this bag? This is the perfect tweed. I love it. Like the minute I set eyes on it, I was like, oh, she's mine. She's meant to be mine. So I hemmed and hawed in it actually for a couple of weeks before I decided to make the purchase. And I actually made the purchase because they were having one of those promos online where when you spend like X amount, you get X amount back in credits. And I figured, you know what? I actually really like the RealReal. There's a lot of stuff on here that I currently have in my wish list. If I make the purchase now, I think it was like if you spend over $2,000, you get $500 back in credit. I could use that $500 credit on my account in the future for another purchase, and 500 bucks is like a lot of money. So if I was gonna buy this bag, I'd rather be getting some credit back to use on the site as opposed to purchasing the bag and getting nothing as a benefit out of it. Another thing I want to mention is the RealReal is actually available on Rakuten. So I believe you can get up to 2.5% return on that. For the value of this bag, I think this is around like $5.6 thousand. I got like $100 something back. I mean, it's not that much in the grand scheme of things, but if you think about cash rebates on Rakuten, every time I make purchases, I get like a couple dollars, maybe $5 at most on a cash back. So I felt that $100 was a substantial amount. Now, when you can get free money back, why not? So yeah, make sure you check out Rakuten if you're going to be shopping on the RealReal. If you do want to get some cash back, highly recommend it. And then the other reason why I got the bag is that because it is a vintage, it is from 2011. Who knows if I don't get this bag now, since it's from an older collection from over a decade ago, chances of me being able to find this on the market again are very, very slim to none. I've literally checked every site that I possibly could. Like I said, Fashion File, Vestiaire, and Rebag, and this was the only one that I found sitting on the RealReal, so I knew I had to snatch it. The interesting thing with the RealReal's website is that they use something called dynamic pricing. I'm not exactly sure how that works. They do offer all their products in different currencies depending on where you live, and I typically shop for a Canadian currency so I can actually understand how much I'm going to be paying out of my pocket for it without having to do the exchange in my head. And their prices actually fluctuate from day to day, and I don't know if it's because they have like a set price on their site in American, and then when they show you the Canadian currency, it's just whatever the exchange rate is at that point. For the longest time, this bag was priced at like 6.6, and then I've been watching the fluctuation. I don't know if the American dollar is down right now, but I saw it drop down to like 5.9. I may be wrong, it could be closer to like 6.3. It dropped down to 5.9, and then it went back up to like 6.1, and I was like, oh, I should have got it when it was like 5.9. And then one day it dropped down to like 5.59 something, and I was like, okay, if I wait longer, this is just gonna go back up. This is the cheapest I've ever seen this bag. It's almost like $500 off what I originally saw when I first wanted to purchase the bag. So I made the decision to purchase it, of course using Rakuten to get the cash back, because why not? And I'm very, very pleased with my purchase. This is my brand new baby for my birthday. I told myself that I wasn't going to take her out and to leave her in the box until July. Obviously, yeah, I was not able to do that. I've been wearing her quite a bit since for the past couple of weeks, and I absolutely love her. I am so happy and over the moon with this new addition to my closet that I don't know, I have zero regrets. There's no buyer's remorse with this little baby. I love her. Well, I did say that I'm not going to be doing a bag review in this video because that is not what this video is meant to be. It was just kind of like to share and introduce her to you guys a little bit, and I'll go into a deeper dive in a couple of months, maybe actually closer towards my birthday, once I've had the chance to use her a little bit more to share you my full thoughts on this. First impressions right off the bat, the medium size, I love it. I think that this is the size for me. If I was ever to buy another Chanel, I have a couple more on my wish list. Like I would love to get a vintage medium and just like black lambskin. I'd love to get the reissue in the size 225, which is equivalent to a medium as well, in kind of like a brown suede or a brown lambskin. I think that would be stunning. I'm not sure how I feel about the larges or the jumbos yet, just because they're really, really big. I don't carry that much on me when I go out somewhere, and this fits everything and more, and I still have quite a bit of space inside. I'm also currently waiting for a bag organizer from Samorga to arrive. I will definitely be reviewing those, because since this is a vintage piece, I do want to take care of her and make sure that she doesn't lose her shape. When I received this, it was listed as like very good on their site, and there was like minor pilling on the corners. FYI as well, tweed does pill since it is a fabric, and over time with use, the fabric just kind of like fluffs up a little bit, so you do have to take care of her. And when I looked at it, it was in like pretty pristine condition. None of the hardware had scratches or anything major to it. The inside had a couple of scratches, but that's about it. And there was very, 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 I can't even emphasize how very it is, slight pilling on the corners. It looked like whoever used this literally used it for a handful of times, and that was it. So it's almost as if it's just been sitting in someone's closet for the past 10 years, and I am so glad to be making her part of mine now. So that is my early birthday present to myself. I want to get myself a little something more extravagant since it is my 30th birthday this year. I want to go all out for like dirty 30 and like splurge a little bit. I was joking with Peter what he would do if I actually did get myself one of the classic flaps in the black caviar. Those bags are like $10,000, and I told him, you know what, it's my 30th birthday. Well, 10,000 like after tax and everything, but I told him it's my 30th birthday and I wanted to go and make a little splurge for myself. He reminded me that we're focusing on the house right now, so if anything, that house will be my true like big splurge birthday present to myself. It won't be for this one year though, it's gonna be a forever birthday present, but I felt like this was kind of like a little more like a surprise present. Not surprise, oh my god, I don't know what I'm saying to justify this. Honestly, I just really wanted the bag, and I told myself it was gonna be a birthday present. I typically buy bags when I go on vacation as commemorative gifts to myself from a trip somewhere, so when I look at it, I remember it. So I have this weird thing in my head where every time I buy something, it needs to be attributed to like a special memory or celebration or moment, and this just ends up being my 30th birthday present to myself. Who knows? I told myself I wouldn't buy anything else for my birthday leading up that was as expensive as this. I'm gonna try not to. My friend Didier made fun of me, and he's like, you're gonna do what I did. get a birthday present for yourself way early, wear it a lot, and then get yourself something else afterwards. And I was like, I'm gonna try not to. I really told myself I wasn't gonna buy that many things this year since we are trying to buy a house. Sorry if you guys heard that. Our neighbors upstairs, we have some new ones that came in a few months ago and they like to be really, really loud. But yeah, she's my new baby. I hope you guys like her. Let me know if you have any questions about purchasing consignment through The RealReal, owning a Tweed Chanel bag, or just Tweed bags in general down below in the comments. I will be more than happy to answer and let you know all of my thoughts. Stay tuned for a full review video a couple months down the road where I share with you my thoughts on this bag once I've had the chance to really use her a lot more. I'm also going to be doing a full review on the Samorga bag organizers. I just want them because not only are they going to protect the inside of my bag, they're also going to be able to help keep the structural integrity of my bag so that they don't sag, and it'll also just help me to organize things inside the bag so things don't fall around when I'm like shuffling for stuff. So I'm going to give you guys my full thoughts on that and which ones that I did end up getting for some of my other bags, and to share with you which ones I think do need them versus which ones don't. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the introduction to my new little Tweed baby. Thank you for coming back and watching this video. As always, you can find me on Instagram and TikTok. I post on both of these platforms quite frequently, usually at least once a day if this is not enough to see me on here on YouTube. Otherwise, I do post, well, I'm trying to get back to posting on a regular schedule of every Thursday and Sunday at 7 p.m. EST. I hope you guys like this video and I will see you in the next one. Bye!